Hey everybody! So today we're going to be painting this cute little panda. I've already pre-done my background. What I want you guys to do is color your whole background and then get a pencil, or you can just freehand along with me. I'm going to be going over how I actually drew this out, and then I'll go over my outlines with you. And so you'll know where to draw. But you can either do that first, watch this whole thing, pause me right now, and get to the point where you draw this out, and then go around it with paint like I did. It's going to be your choice. I don't know how advanced you are and how much erasing time you need. If you need to erase a lot, then just go ahead and pause right now, draw this out, and then make your color to paint this. All this color is a little bit of blue and white to make a nice sky blue color, and add a touch of yellow and just mix those together. Then add some water and along the thing. Or you can just buy the teal color or change the color altogether. It doesn't matter. We're going to be having some branches coming down with some sort of bamboo looking green leaves on there. So take that into consideration when you go to paint your background color. If you're going to do green, they're going to get lost in there. I'm going to be using this big brush. I'm not using it today because that was just to color in that. So that one's gone. Some sort of a medium brush can be either angled, or it can be, where is that one? Or it can be just a medium, like flat one like this. Doesn't matter. I like to use my angle one because sometimes I use that pointy bit for getting really close, and then I just use the tip part, and then some sort of small pointy one just to get the little details. So I am going to carry on and paint. I'm going to draw out this panda with some paint so that you guys can follow along with your pencil, and then you're going to be just fine. So colors I'm using: a little bit of umber brown, a little bit of umber brown, a little bit of blue, yellow, and white to make this color background, but also blue and yellow to make green. So if you have green, don't worry about that. Just add it on there. And then a little bit of black because my panda's black and white. And I'm going to move over to a chair where I can see you guys and paint along here for you. Up I get. Okay, it's a challenge in this little squeezy studio that I have here to, well, I need a hair clip too because my hair is just always in the way. Maybe I'll just put my hat on. There we go. Put my hat on, and it's out of the way. It's a little goofy wearing a hat in the house, but okay. My hat on. All right, here we go. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining me. All right, so first thing I started off with, I'm going to do this in the brown, but you guys are probably going to do it in pencil. So I'm just using that pointy little brush. I'm going to go into the brown, and I started off with where I wanted my branch to go. So I kind of went right through the panda. Right along here. Maybe I'll add a little water so I don't have to push hard. You're going to do this in pencil. And then if you don't like anything, you can erase it after. I did a little bit of erasing. So it came along and went right across. And I can't go right across here because this is going to be black anyway. And that's going to be black, so it doesn't really matter. There's the tree that he's laying on. So I did go all the way across with the brown. I mean, when I drew it. And then this side over here. Now you can make this as thick as you want. It doesn't have to be this thin. Again, I came all the way across. Just whatever shape that you want your tree to be. And here I'm going to have like a little broken branch. So we'll just say that came across. So that's like a broken branch that came off, and then I went across here like this. There you go. That's my tree. Now, I'm going to get rid of the brown on here. Maybe I'll move this border so not to keep cutting in front. Let us go to black. Now I'm going to get that watered down too. I don't want this to be too terribly dark because parts of this are going to be white, but you're going to be doing it in pencil. So I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I started off with the head shape, which is basically just round. Maybe it comes to a little bit of a point here. I mean, we can change that all. So I started off with that. It's kind of round, but it goes a little, his head goes a little bit wider at each side. Say right here where his cheek is, there's a little mound here, and the other cheek is behind, so you don't really see it. But see how it comes up above a roundness? And then I just kind of did, it depends on how long you want your guy to be. So then I did a circle up this side on top of my branch. So like a little hump circle. That's his black butt, or his white, it's going to be his white butt. So these two sections will be, no, yes, they'll be white. His legs are black. This is black, and his face is white. And then I did a little hump here where his back is. So it's a little bit longer. And it doesn't really matter how long you have it. Well, you know, or how high you have it, I should say. But you don't want to go higher than his butt. His butt should be bigger. Give him a little, kind of a roundy ear. And here I see part of his ear. Okay. And then I worried about his arm that was coming down. So I went a little bit higher. So here's his elbow. And then I did his arm come down like this. And it's a little bit, see the space here? Let me just see what kind of a shape this is going to make. And it just kind of rounded. So it kind of looks like a turkey drumstick. You see that? Looks like a turkey drumstick. And then he kind of had his other paw that was curled up. And it's a little bit smaller. And it kind of came out from here. Can you see how he's like sort of crisscrossed a little bit? That'll make it a little bit lost in the black later on. But we'll figure that out. So his back leg here also is going to be like a turkey drumstick. Just a little bit. So you've got this. So mimic that. So you're mimicking that. You've got like a parallel line. And this is going to come out in front of, it almost looks like a hot air balloon. But that also comes out in front of the branch. So these are all kind of hanging over. And then he's got that other paw on the back side. So he's secured. So it's just basically this bottom part you're redrawing here. He's got himself secured to the branch. He's got a leg on either side. And then what I did when I first drew this is I did a little circle right here on his face, like a little sideways circle here, which you don't really need, but I'm going to do his nose, which is like a little triangle with the line, and he had a smile. So I ended up erasing that circle, but for you when you're drawing it, you're going to have that circle there. I'm going to try to get rid of it with paint. And then he's got his eye marks. So they're a little bigger on this end and they come narrow. They come a little bit narrower at the top. Don't have to be perfect, it's fur. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it too much. And then that one there that came, the rest of it's behind. But you can see how the angle comes up. Triangular. So it's coming up in a V motion, up, no. All right, and there you go. That's your basic panda. We'll draw a little tail here later. That's going to be in white too, and it's going to also be in front of that. Then just go ahead and draw yourself some branches. After you've got your background all painted around this, just draw just like that. Some lines wherever you want. I'm not putting anything down there. We're going to put up here. Have one coming down here. And I think I had one down here like that. Water. And that's all I'm going to do with those. So I've got a few branches there. I'm going to put some leaves on them after. So our next step, let's go, I'm going to go into the white, I think, next. Still going to be using, oh yeah. So this is black. His butt is white and his legs are black. But this is all black here. His face is white, black, black, and the white snout. Okay. Back to using my little brush. Get all the black off there. I'm going to go into the white, which I probably have too much of. I'm just going to go over his little face, minus those eye marks. If you cover over them, it's okay because it's black and white. You can always go back with the black. It's okay if it goes a little bit in front of the branch because it's fur. I'll probably actually make it go in front after. So I'm just painting that in, kind of furry like. And the other white part is his butt. I'm going to go right up to the black. Probably end up going over the black later. Right to the branch. Black's going to come through there, through its belly a little bit. And then his little tail. So here's where you can get messy if you want. It doesn't have to be all perfect. Just go ahead and make it messy. Alright, now I'm going to wash this off. We'll go back into the black. And let's color in those black bits. We don't need to show an eye because you know what, he's sleeping. I'm going to go back over that nose a little bit. And his ears are black. All of this is black. Now, you just start with the arm. Do the arm. I'm going to go back into the white before I finish that off, just because I'm going to lose some of the sky if I don't. So don't even do the back paw. I have to add a bit of water. My paint is so thick right now. Now, if you don't like your paintings to be all messy and furry, you like it to be nice and smooth, just leave it nice and smooth. This is your painting. Do whatever you want. I'm going to mess mine up in a minute, but for now, that's what I'm doing. So stop there with the black. Then wash this off and go to the white. Take a little bit of white. Just go along this edge. Don't worry that it looks too white. And right there where it crosses by that foot, we can fix that up in a minute. Now, and right here, because you know what? That's going to be black. And then on his nose too. I think his nose is too close to that eye. I want to have some space there. There we go. Oh, way cute. Way cute. All right, cleaning that off. Going back into the black. So now I'm going to continue on this side. Right up to that tree. Don't worry about that white line yet. This side of the tree. And then right there. It's part of his belly. And also this back leg here on the back side. Okay, basic panda drawn. That line is too noticeable, right? So going back in with the black on his leg and just painting some black in on the inside of that. So you just see like a little highlight. Now it looks like a little light reflection. All good, same here. From the inside, stretching the inside out, the black part. And if it goes gray, it's okay. Just gonna add a little gray up in there. Perfect. I like how fuzzy that looks. So while I've got the black, I'm gonna make his ears just a little fuzzy, just by tapping around and just not having them so neat. Same here, just sort of messing up his outsides a little bit. I mean, he can be disheveled. Disheveled, is that a word? Look how fuzzy he looks there. I like that. And here on his leg. I mean, you don't want to have too perfect a line, but I'm just messing the edges up, tapping. There you go. Now he looks furry, right? So he's not furry enough looking on his whiteness. On his whiteness. So back into the white. I'm going to mess that up. Even if some black gets drug in there with it, which is cool. Let's do that. I'll make a little bit of gray. Just tiny little bit. Just a tiny little, maybe right in there, especially where it might be shadowed. Maybe there's a shadow up in there. Just chin, like that on. So I've got a tiny little bit of black on there. Just tap some white. That's too much white on my brush. Over top of it. Keeps it still white, but it's got little gray marks and then just look like shadows now. Oh, so cute. All right, now to the branch. I'm going to use my medium-sized brush now because there's more space to cover. I'm going to put some water in there just to thin that brown out a little bit. I don't want it to be too dark by him, but I'm just going to go back and forth. See, it's getting a little bit lighter because the water. But if there's going to be any really dark bits, where it's going to be dark is right underneath where he is. So you can go really dark. Not really dark, but darker underneath where he is, because that will look like a shadow from his body. I'm going to lighten that up because it's a bit too dark and it's blending in with the brown and you can't really see. Can't really see where that is. So take some brown over here with some white. Mixing a little bit of brown and white together. I'm going to sort of just wiggle it around a little bit. Let's pause, flip that around. It's still dark. But, okay, wipe that off. Now I can go back in with some straight brown. Mix around in there. Just as long as you don't lose your bear. You can just mix all different shades of brown into this branch. Wiggle it around, give it some bark-like shapes. I think that looks really cool. You can even take some black if you want. We're done with the black really. So if you got a little bit, you can throw a few little black lines here and there, especially right here on this end. Just tap that a little bit where it broke off. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Go with some brown. And then with your little round brush, take some white. Take some white. And just around this edge, make a circle-ish. So that it looks like it's broken off and there's a highlight. And then inside that black is some sort of a stump. Really cool. So I'm going to take light brown. Making a light brown. Just along the top here. I'm going to wiggle some highlights in, not where he is, but maybe the light hit over here. And then the rest is dark underneath. Really just squiggle color wherever you want in here. Just the rule is, right underneath him will be a little bit darker because there's a shadow. Along the top up here, maybe some light got into it, and so it's lighter. I like it. All right, we're going to make some green now for the leaves. I'm going to make a nice light green. So I'm going to take the tiniest bit of blue. I know I put them in the same little hole, just like a tip full of blue, and I'm going to mix it in this yellow over here, just to see what color that gives me. It's a nice limey green, but a little bit too limey, so a touch more blue. Slowly drag your blue in till you find the shade of green that you like. Now you can make this a whiter green if you want by adding some white to it. You can make it darker by either adding brown or black to it. Up to you. I'm going to start with this, and I'm going to do longer leaves. It's hard to see that. It's hard to see those leaves. I don't want to go any darker, so I'm going to do this on a piece of paper, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. It's kind of bamboo-y. All right. Just keep in mind that this is from a different night, so it doesn't look like anything. Okay. So here's my branch coming down, and then I have another branch here, and maybe there's one going there. So here are my leaves for that. They are long, like this, longer, and then there'll probably be another one right beside it. Long here, long here. So they're usually like two beside each other, bamboo. It looks cool when you cross them over top of another branch. Then they look a little bit 3D, and then maybe add one there. So those are your branches. Okay, it'll look like bamboo all over the place. So one here. almost touches that guy. And then I'm going to add another green to it as well. There I go, it crossed over that branch. Looks really cool. Yellow is kind of transparent, so there I can see my stick through it. There you go. So I got some bamboo all over the place. And I'm just going to add some white to my mixture of green, so I get a nice lighter white. I decided to go lighter than darker because my background's really kind of cool. So I'm just going to add a little highlight on these things. Got too much paint on my brush. Roll it around so you get a nice point. And then I'm just going to give a highlight on the top sides of these leaves, so the sun, where the sun might hit it. If it gets to be too much, it's okay. Go back and put some darker green on it. Now you guys can kind of see those leaves a little bit better, right? So if I thought that was too light or too much light, I'd go back in with the darker green and mix it up, kick it back a little bit. And there you go. That is my panda bear. So just sign it when you're done. Leave room there for a quote, whatever you want to do. I'm going to say thank you so much for stopping by. And next week we're painting sweet peas. So hopefully I will see you for sweet peas. Later guys, enjoy.